Plascencia. I'm a full-time barber. Well, I've been a licensed barber for about a year now, and before that I've been cutting hair since my high school years, so probably about, I want to say, 2.5, 3 years. Well, it was just a little side thing doing it in high school, just to help my friends out because they didn't have enough money to get a haircut. And I have an older brother, which is actually the owner of the shop that I work at. And pretty much, he just kind of showed me the basics and all that. And then after I graduated high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I realized that school was not for me, and I just decided to take on cutting hair, and I've been doing it since then, and I love it. As a kid growing up, I was always into playing sports, Little League sports, Pop Warner. I didn't think about cutting hair or becoming a barber or anything like that. So I always thought it would just be easy just to come to the big leagues, and that's what I wanted to pursue as a child. Well, being the youngest out of my family, they they always want to push push forward to going to school, going to college and doing all that. Yeah, I actually tried going to college. I tried going to community college. I started off real slow. I actually took a year off as soon as I graduated high school. School just never had my interest. Elementary school, middle school, high school, it just wouldn't click. Once they heard the idea about me becoming a barber, they weren't mad at all, because my grandmother was a barber, my older brother's a barber. My older brother owns the barbershop I work at, and my grandmother owns a barbershop in Pittsburgh as well. So it's it's kind of in the family, I guess. Being a barber has it's pretty different because you're self-employed. You don't get 401k, you do not get no benefits or anything like that. So if you choose to not work one day, you don't have to work one day, as long as it's okay with your boss. We pay rent every week, and as long as that's paid, it does not matter how many days a week we show up. When I let somebody walk out of my chair, I see it as a canvas, as my canvas, and that's my art. So they're walking around with my art on their head, which is their haircut, of course. It's not one of those things like you can just sit there and just kind of like, oh, I'll do it, and then no, I don't feel like doing it, because it will show. Your work shows. Your haircuts will show, how much you put into it. Well, when you cut, say you're cutting hair, you cut a walk-in. What is a walk-in? A walk-in is somebody who walks in the shop, and they don't have an appointment and set schedule or nothing. They just want to walk in for a haircut. A lot of the times, you're not going to know that person. You want to make them feel comfortable because they're sitting in your chair. They're coming to you. There's a lot of different crowds that people come in, and some people aren't into sports. Some people aren't into, they're only into music, or they're only, there's a lot of different people, and it's an awesome feeling because, you get to see people's different lifestyles, where they're from, where they came from, and it's crazy because it's like, knowing that makes you feel good about yourself because you're making somebody else feel better about themselves, regardless if it's just a haircut or if it's a nice conversation.